Hello and welcome to Newsroom series today. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Thank you for joining us. First, our top stories. A federal high court presided over by Justice Inyang Ekwo has ordered the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission to release businesswoman Aisha Chimugu within 24 hours. Justice Ekwo had on Monday ordered Chimugu to submit herself to the EFCC in connection with an ongoing investigation bordering on money laundering and other offences. Justice Ekwo also held that following her appearance at the EFCC office, the anti-graft agency is to return and make appearance before the court with her on Wednesday, April 30th for a report. The anti-graft agency, however, arrested Chimugu at 5 a.m. on Tuesday at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport. The EFCC investigating Aisha Chimugu on a case involving conspiracy, obtaining money under false pretense, money laundering, corruption and possession of properties reasonably suspected to have been unlawfully obtained. Troops of 6th Brigade of the Nigerian Army have foiled a kidnapped attempt and rescued victims along the Ukari-Kente Road in Ukari local government area of Taraba State. Acting Assistant Director of Army Public Relations and 6th Brigade, Captain Olubodunde Oni, says the incident occurred on April the 27th, 2025, following a distress call from the Executive Chairman of Ukari local government area regarding an attack on suspected travelers along Ukari-Kente Road. He says that the troops responded swiftly by launching a prompt rescue operation to the area and rescued the victims unhurt. The victims were traveling from Yola to Lafia when armed men suspected to be kidnappers or armed robbers launched an attack from the rear of the vehicle, forcing them to flee into the bush for safety. And our focus today is the South-South region. Begin with the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who's assured Nigerians that the economic reports introduced by President Bola Tinubu's administration are working to stabilize the economy and reduce poverty across the country. Speaking at the 2025 retreat for newly inaugurated members of the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission in Uyo, Akwa Ibom, Mr. Shettima said the federal government was implementing targeted interventions aimed at expanding opportunities and improving the citizens' way of life.
The three-day retreat is organized for the newly inaugurated members of the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission. Delivering a keynote address on the theme Understanding the Role of the Revenue, Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission and Other Agencies in Nation Building, the Vice President says the federal government remains steadfast in its efforts to reposition the Nigerian economy through bold reform aimed at poverty reduction and creating an enabling environment where citizens can thrive and contribute to national development. Represented by his technical advisor on public debt management and revenue mobilization, the Vice President says the government is implementing targeted intervention to stabilize the economy, expand opportunities, and improve the quality of life for all Nigerians. He also urges the Commission members to uphold transparency, equity, and excellence in service.
This retreat is more than an orientation. It is a call to national service at a time when our country is undergoing major reforms aimed at repositioning the economy and optimizing our revenue generation through improved tax system. This retreat offers you the opportunity to deepen your understanding of the Commission's mandate, internal structures, intergovernmental dynamics, and evolving fiscal realities. It is also a platform to align with the policy direction of the Renew Hope agenda of Mr. President, particularly in areas of revenue optimization, economic diversification, and prudent public expenditure.
On his part, the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Umo Eno, commends the federal government's economic decisions, noting that although some policies had caused temporary hardship, they had ultimately strengthened the financial standing of subnational governments.
This is a fact that not too many of us want to admit publicly, but that's the fact. If some of those decisions were not taken, some states will not even be able to pay salaries by now. Some states will be borrowing and amassing debt for generations yet unborn. It takes a leader who is bold to take some audacious decision which sometimes may not be nice in the immediate, but in the long term, it is for our good.
Weighing in on the retreat, the RMAFC chairman, Alhaji Mohammed Shehu, says it will familiarize and equip new commission members with the agency's operations and responsibilities. He says that the commission will work diligently with dedication and patriotism alongside all stakeholders to ensure the fiscal well-being of the nation.
To our new members, therefore, your appointment is not only a call to service, but also require integrity, patriotism, and excellence. It is in line with these responsibilities that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR, through the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, at the inaugural meeting, plenary session of the new members back in February, charged the Commission as follows: strengthen revenue monitoring and accountability mechanism, enhance non-oil revenue mobilization, fast-track the review of revenue allocation formula, support government fiscal policies, and collaborate well with stakeholders.
The Commission is one of the 14 federal executive bodies established by Section 153, subsection 1N of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended.
The Cross River State government has recorded a significant update in the construction of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port project, which promises to boost the economic potential of the state as well as create employment opportunities. Speaking during an inspection tour of the sea, the special advisor to the governor on international cooperation and investment, Victor Edet, explained that the seaport will boost economic potential with lots of minerals that abound in the region. The Bakassi Deep Sea Port is expected to unlock massive economic potential for not just Cross River State, but for Nigeria and West Africa as a whole.
The Cross River State government has recorded a major milestone in the development of the Bakassi Deep Sea Port, a project expected to transform the state's economy and generate thousands of jobs. Currently in its early construction phase, the Bakassi Deep Sea Port is gearing up for full-scale development in the coming months. A government delegation, including engineers, consultants, and state officials, visited the site for an inspection of ongoing works.
This is Bakassi. We are towards the Bakassi Peninsula, where it is notable for high deposits of gas and oil and crude oil. The other two islands that were ceded to Cameroon because of the international issues that happened. So these other three islands left, you also expect that you still have high deposits of natural resources. So this is one of the richest regions in Nigeria where we are standing. This coastal region is very, very rich with high deposits of natural resources. So as the port comes alive, economic activities will come alive towards this area.
The inspection covered key areas including dredging preparations, port access roads, and the proposed terminal zones. Officials confirmed that preliminary environmental assessments and stakeholder consultations are being taken seriously.
We are carrying out simultaneously 3 projects at the same time. We are carrying out the hydrographic surveying, which is generally the acquisition of data of the seabed, the depths, the wrecks, and also any features within the seabed, so as to aid and for easy navigation of ships, so as also to create a chart of general area in which shippings are going to come into the port and go out.
This project will serve as a gateway to trade and industrial growth in the southeast, handling over 1 million containers annually once completed, as well as creating thousands of job opportunities.
This is truly an economic revolution for Cross River State. It will bring prosperity, it will bring a whole lot of innovations, and it will make our teeming youth seriously gain employment. I was shocked and I was amazed when I saw the whole survey process. I saw how they are trying to take a full a measure of the seismic nature, in the eventuality of tremor. I saw all of those things. It made me humble, and it makes me happy that today we can have a leader who is so focused in terms of bringing prosperity to his people.
As construction progresses, all eyes remain on this landmark project, with high hopes for its economic impact on the region. The Bakassi Deep Sea Port is more than just a state project. It's a gateway to growth for West Africa.
Meanwhile, the Bayelsa State Governor, Senator Doye has expressed satisfaction over the pace of ongoing infrastructure projects across the state, from the stadium construction to major road networks connecting the hinterlands. And the governor embarked on an inspection tour of key sites and gave an assurance that contractors are on track to meet completion deadlines. From the bustling site of the 25,000 capacity Bayelsa Stadium to remote communities such as Ituan and Okodi, the governor led a team of state officials on an inspection of key infrastructure projects across multiple local government areas.
We say we are opening up our communities, and I'm sure that the people of Otuan will be very, very happy, and it will be very historic. They will never forget this in their lives. I am also very happy that the last time I came to Otuan was through Angiama by both with the German ambassador. But today, I'm driving into Otuan. Work is still going on, and by the time they finish the work, we'll come and commission this spur to Otuan. From the bridge, of course, the bridge we all saw, down to the spur to Otuan, and then the road to Oporoma, and then we came back to the Akaba Road, which is also on course, and then to the final phase of Glory Drive. I think that's phase 4, phase 3, okay, phase 3. Then to the stadium down here. They are all doing very well. The delivery dates, except one that has some changes. But every other date, I think, still stands. The contractors are all doing very well, and I commend them for actually putting in their best. And I believe that at the end of the day, we'll be able to deliver our objectives to the people of our state.
The Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission's NDDC, Samuel Owuku, has announced that the interventionist agency will be inaugurating several projects in the Niger Delta to commemorate President Tinubu's second-year anniversary. Now, Mr. Owuku, who was speaking in Port Harcourt at the NDDC quarterly management meeting with staff, calls on the staff of the Commission to brace up for new challenges in developing the oil-rich region as the agency moves to deliver more people-oriented projects.
It's the second quarterly management meeting with staff of the Niger Delta Development Commission. The meeting, which is taking place beside the NDDC headquarters in Port Harcourt, the River State capital, is one the Commission's Human Resource Directorate believes will continue to encourage cordiality between management and staff of the interventionist agency.
I want to welcome you to this second edition of the NDDC management meeting with the staff. You are welcome. I want to especially thank the management for putting this together for staff of the Commission. It is our hope and I believe that we will all participate actively.
The NDDC Managing Director, Samuel Owuku, is happy with the recent achievements recorded by the Commission, especially in project delivery. He says the Regional Development Agency has lined up projects to mark the second anniversary of the Tinubu administration.
We are going to also commence commissioning of projects in May this year in commemoration of Mr. President's second year anniversary. We have projects that are lined up for commissioning
these projects are to show the world the hard work that is coming from all of you in this room, the effort you're putting in changing the narrative of the Niger Delta and changing the narrative of the NDDC. I want all of us to fasten our seatbelt because we are taking off to face bigger challenges. Because right now that we're on the limelight, we know that bigger challenges will come.
He gives assurances that while the staff give their best in the discharge of their responsibilities, the board and management will also not hesitate to meet their needs.
We in the management, representing the board in the day-to-day operations of the NDDC, we're here to also cater for your welfare. And in catering for your welfare, we try as much as possible to ensure that all your entitlements that is due you, you get them as at when due. And I can announce to you that as we speak today, all your entitlements for the year 2025 are paid as at when due.
Earlier, the NDDC Managing Director met with the newly elected executives of the NDDC Staff Union, where he charged them to prioritize the development of the region over personal gains.
More on development in the Niger Delta. In a strategic move to strengthen agribusiness and rural livelihood in the region, the federal government has launched an intensive capacity building training for NDDC staff under the Life ND project. The initiative, co-funded by the federal government, NDDC, and IFAD, aims to drive youth-led sustainable agriculture across the region. Our correspondent reports from Sapele, Delta State.
60 staff of the Niger Delta Development Commission have begun a 5-day hands-on training in modern agribusiness in Sapele, Delta State under the Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprise in the Niger Delta Project Life ND. The Life ND initiative, which has been transforming rural communities for 6 years, uses a mentorship-driven model, training youth and women under experienced agribusiness entrepreneurs in areas like aquaculture, poultry, oil palm, rice and cassava production.
This program is a testament to the commitment of Life ND's leadership under the guidance of Dr. Abiodun Sani, the National Project Coordinator, to fostering institutional strengthening of stakeholders. In line with this commitment, the NDDC, which is a key co-founder in the Livelihood Improvement Family Enterprises Niger Delta Life ND project, a project with a transformative initiative aimed at empowering our people through sustainable agribusiness, will be equipped with the requisite skills and competencies for their supervisory role to drive sustainable development and ultimately improve the quality of life for the people of Niger Delta through Life ND project.
Once in a while, we have training, capacity building from them. And we as NDDC, we are also piloting the programs agreed by both parties. And so it's of essence to make sure the staffs are equipped with the modern day training facilities to bring about effectiveness of the program. And where responsibilities are taking place, everybody knows what parts to play.
Currently active in 9 Niger Delta states, with coordination from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and support from IFAD and the NDDC, this program has become a beacon for Nigeria's agricultural transformation agenda.
Before we came into Songhai, we took a thorough overview from the failures of major agri projects that have been executed in Nigeria, from Operation Feed the Nation, all the way down to Green Revolution, all the way down to Anchor Borage Program, and the various financial instruments that came in and why they failed. So when we came into Songhai, we came also with a business model, practical and all of that. So in the course of this program, we'll be talking about real life practical solutions, challenges that a lot of you probably will have been experiencing and how we can provide solutions.
Drawn from Akwa Ibom, Imo, and River State, the participants say they're not here to take notes but action.
My expectation is when you talk of agriculture, talk about the whole world. This is where we fit from. So we want to improve ourselves with modern facilities. Some things has gone beyond the normal whole spade we used to. Like we have the incubators here that are going to teach us which are the incubators for how to go about agriculture.
And as the Life ND project continues to drive grassroots transformation, the management has expressed deep appreciation to the federal government for its unwavering support in building a sustainable agricultural future for the Niger Delta region.
Our correspondent. The Edo State government has continued its crackdown on property linked to criminal activities in the state with the demolition of buildings connected to kidnapping and cult-related violence and killings in the state, mentioning that the exercise is no political witch hunt. The Chief Press Secretary to Governor Monday Okpobolo, who spoke to journalists following the demolition of a residential building reportedly used for kidnapping and organ harvesting in Benin City, the Edo State capital, on Tuesday, disclosed that other buildings tainted by acts of crime will be given similar treatment. The 28-year-old son of the owner of the demolished property had allegedly killed a young woman and harvested her organs before fleeing to Lagos State last month.
The owner of this property in the GRA area of Benin City, the Edo State capital, earmarked for demolition, leads the way as the Edo State Task Force gets down to work. The gate is the first part of the structure to go down. A duplex and a detached bungalow boys' quarters stand within the compound. The landlord recounts how his house made it to the demolition list in the state.
I came home on the 23rd of this month. I returned from work. I had a call from my wife that my son murdered a woman in a pool of blood in his boys' quarter where he lives. And I quickly took action and went straight to the police to make a report. Thereby, the policemen, the DPO there, ordered the policemen to come with me to my house. We now conveyed the corpse to Faith Mediplex. So when I got back to the station, I was detained. And I gave my statement. I had no knowledge that my son could cause this heinous crime to me.
He reveals that the suspect, who is one of his 5 children, had been a source of concern to the family for a long time.
You understand? I trained him all the way from nursery school to tertiary education. He was a student of Ekpoma University. He was a graduate, but all along the line, he has been a problem to me in this for the past 10 years. I have taken him to rehab several times, to neuropsychiatric, to Awamina by Ozigo Street off Ekenwa Road. The only thing I now owe him was prayer. The whole family, my relatives, we've all talked about this matter. Go and learn something, he will not go.
The bungalow where the murder reportedly took place is not spared and is soon reduced to rubbles. The duplex is the next to go. The Chief Press Secretary to the Governor of Edo State confirms the reason for the demolition, maintaining that the suspect, who was recently arrested in Lagos, would be made to face the consequences of his actions.
The lady was killed and her sensitive organs were harvested by the culprit who we are aware has been arrested and is coming to Edo to face the trial and face the crime, consequence of his crime that he has committed. And the building demolished was where it happened, owned by his father, who, as we know, has made some useful confessions as to what has happened.
He adds that other buildings being used for criminal activities will be dealt a similar fate, insisting there is nothing political about the exercise.
With the existing law already passed by his administration, that no stone will be left unturned. Anyone involved in any court-related activity by any form will face the full wrath of the law, and that is exactly what this is about. So for those who believe there is a political witch hunt or that is a way to get back at members of the opposition, that is not true.
With other buildings and facilities sealed for demolition set to go down in the coming days, the Edo State government again sounds a strong note of warning. Anyone involved in crime will not be spared. Jessica Olugose, Channels Television News.
Finally, the Nigerian Navy's forward operating base, Bonny, has arrested suspected illegal bunkerers and confiscated a wooden boat laden with products suspected to be illegally refined automotive gas oil at Okutumbi community in Bonny local government area of Rivers State. The base operations officer, Lieutenant Colonel Siraj Al-Mustafa, disclosed this in Bonny. He said the suspects had been handed over to the NDDC for further investigation and prosecution. That's it on Newsroom series today. Thank you for watching. I'm Olumide Mukoli.